Imagine you could know one secret, a single piece of knowledge that would fundamentally alter your understanding of existence. What happens when you die? It's a question that has haunted humanity since the dawn of consciousness, a fear so primal it shapes our every decision, from how we live our lives to how we plan for our inevitable end. But what if the answers weren't locked away in dusty religious texts or whispered in hushed spiritual circles? What if a government agency, shrouded in secrecy, had already delved into this ultimate mystery? Allegedly, leaked CIA briefings suggest just that. A clandestine exploration into the very nature of consciousness and the possibility of an afterlife. This isn't just a theoretical exercise. It's about confronting our deepest fears and reclaiming our power in the face of mortality. Think about it. How many dreams have been abandoned, how many risks avoided, all because of the looming shadow of death. This alleged information could drastically change that perspective. It could reshape not only our personal anxieties, but also our entire understanding of reality. If death is merely a transition, a doorway to another state of being, how does that shift the value we place on this life, on our relationships, on our very existence? Understanding the secrets contained within these documents has the potential to challenge deeply ingrained societal views on mortality, influencing everything from personal finance to end-of-life care, and even the choices we make in our closest relationships. Throughout this exploration, we'll be diving into several key themes. First, we will be contemplating the very nature of consciousness. Is it merely a byproduct of the brain, or is it something more profound, something that exists independently? We will explore various afterlife models, comparing and contrasting beliefs from around the world and throughout history. We will then analyze the alleged CIA investigations into the paranormal, seeking to understand their methods, their findings, and their implications. And of course, we will confront the fear of death itself, offering alternative perspectives and empowering you to live more fully in the present moment. These seemingly disparate topics all converge to create a unique insight, one that could redefine your understanding of life and death. To set the stage, let's briefly touch upon some common beliefs about the afterlife, near-death experiences, where individuals report profound encounters during clinical death, reincarnation, the cyclical rebirth of the soul, the traditional concepts of heaven and hell, and the Bardo realms of Tibetan Buddhism, the intermediate state between death and rebirth. Interestingly, studies have shown that a significant percentage of people who have clinically died and then resuscitated report having some kind of near-death experience. But what if these aren't just hallucinations or neurological anomalies? What if they are glimpses into a reality beyond our physical senses? At the heart of it all lies consciousness itself, a fundamental aspect of reality that may exist independently of the physical body, perhaps even continuing in some form after death. Is it possible that consciousness is the key to unlocking the mysteries of the afterlife? We'll be following a thread that connects alleged CIA research with ancient spiritual traditions and modern scientific theories, looking for a convergence of knowledge from these diverse sources. Consider, for example, how the practice of meditation, a cornerstone of many spiritual traditions, has been shown in scientific studies to measurably impact physical reality through the observer effect in quantum physics. Throughout, we will be contrasting perspectives, such as juxtaposing the materialist view that consciousness ends with death with the spiritual or metaphysical view that consciousness continues. Think of it like a radio. The body is the radio, and consciousness is the signal. When the radio breaks, the signal doesn't disappear. It simply moves on. So, what exactly do these leaked CIA briefings reveal about the afterlife? Is it possible to influence or even control our experience in the afterlife? And what does all of this mean for our understanding of reality? As we delve into these alleged documents, keep in mind the secrecy and intrigue that surrounds governmental interest in the paranormal. What were they really looking for? And why was it kept hidden? Perhaps the CIA briefings reveal unexpected similarities between different afterlife models and spiritual traditions. Could the concept of karmic evaluation or judgment be a universal element across cultures? Prepare yourself for revelations about specific techniques and technologies allegedly explored in the CIA briefings that might offer insights into the nature of consciousness and the afterlife. Imagine the potential of remote viewing, a technique purportedly used to explore non-physical realms. What could be learned by focusing that technology beyond death? What awaits us beyond the veil? Let's consider, then, the alleged CIA investigations into the paranormal, where things get truly intriguing. Specifically, let's explore Project Stargate and the concept of remote viewing. Imagine a top-secret government initiative aimed at harnessing psychic abilities for espionage. That's precisely what Project Stargate purported to be. The goal: to use trained individuals to perceive distant locations and events, peering behind the Iron Curtain, so to speak, without ever leaving American soil. Think of an agent sitting in a darkened room, attempting to see inside a Soviet military installation thousands of miles away. What if, beyond merely gathering intelligence, they were also inadvertently glimpsing something more profound about the nature of reality itself? Remote viewing experiments, as described in these alleged briefings, purportedly involved individuals entering altered states of consciousness to access information seemingly beyond the constraints of space and time. It wasn't about hazy guesses. It was a structured process. Envision this. A sealed envelope containing a picture is given to a remote viewer. Without any physical contact or prior knowledge, the viewer attempts to describe the image inside, often with surprising accuracy. Some claim they could describe details of the image, the colors, shapes, and even the emotional tone it evoked. If true, this would seem to transcend the limitations of our ordinary senses and understandings of space and time. This leads us to a vital question. What is the connection between remote viewing and consciousness? These experiments potentially support the idea that consciousness isn't shackled to the physical confines of the brain. If the mind can, in fact, perceive distant locations and events, does it not logically follow that it can also exist independently of the body? What are the implications if our awareness extends beyond the boundaries of our skull? Does it open the door to the possibility of an afterlife, a continuation of consciousness beyond physical death? Could these remote viewing experiences offer clues about the nature of this continued existence? Here's where a compelling pattern begins to emerge. Consider the parallels between remote viewing experiences and descriptions of the afterlife found in diverse spiritual traditions. Some remote viewers have reported perceiving non-physical realms or encountering entities during their sessions, accounts that resonate with descriptions of heaven, hell, or the Bardo realms. A specific alleged instance details remote viewers encountering what they described as guardian entities during a session focused on exploring a specific location. These entities, they claimed, seemed to be protectors of the space, preventing unauthorized access. How did the CIA interpret these encounters? Were they dismissed as hallucinations, or were they seen as evidence of something more? And how do such accounts align with the spiritual traditions that speak of similar entities guiding souls through the afterlife? Now, let's turn our attention to another fascinating area explored in the alleged CIA briefings: reincarnation and past life regression. Picture this: the agency potentially investigating the idea that individuals can access memories from previous lives. What if the key to understanding consciousness lies not just in our present existence, but in a chain of past lives, each contributing to our current understanding of reality? The implications would be staggering, potentially rewriting our understanding of identity, purpose, and the very nature of time itself. Past life regression therapy, as described in these alleged briefings, could be a method used to unlock these hidden memories, a technique used to uncover repressed memories or unresolved traumas from previous lives. Imagine a patient under hypnosis, vividly recalling details from a life centuries ago, speaking in a different language, describing events they could not possibly have known about in their current life. Consider the case of a woman who, during a past life regression, began speaking fluent French and recounting details of life as a peasant girl in 18th century France, information that was later verified by historians. How could this be explained through conventional science? Or does it point to something deeper, a connection to a collective consciousness that transcends the boundaries of individual lifetimes? This brings us to another critical juncture, the relationship between consciousness and memory. If memories can persist across lifetimes, as past life regression suggests, then the implications for our understanding of identity are profound. What if our sense of self isn't limited to the experiences of this single lifetime? What if it's a composite of countless past experiences, shaping who we are today in ways we don't even realize? Does this suggest that memories are not solely stored within the brain, but that they are instead accessible from a larger field of consciousness, a universal library of experiences that we can tap into under the right conditions? Once again, a pattern begins to materialize. Note the striking parallels between past life regression experiences and the concept of reincarnation in various spiritual traditions, particularly Hinduism and Buddhism. Both traditions speak of the soul's journey through multiple lifetimes, a cycle of birth, death, and rebirth driven by karma and the pursuit of spiritual evolution. Consider the similarities in the descriptions of the soul's journey, the challenges faced, and the ultimate goal of liberation from the cycle of rebirth. Does this convergence of ideas across cultures and time periods lend credence to the possibility of reincarnation? Or is it simply a reflection of humanity's shared desire for meaning and purpose in the face of death? Let's shift our focus to the traditional concepts of heaven and hell. According to the alleged CIA briefings, heaven and hell aren't physical locations, but rather states of consciousness. What if the afterlife isn't a predetermined destination, but a reflection of our internal landscape, a manifestation of our beliefs, emotions, and actions during life? Does this mean we create our own heaven and hell, both in this life and the next? Could it be that the ultimate judgment isn't handed down by a divine authority, but is instead a self-assessment, a recognition of the consequences of our choices? Elaborating on this idea, heaven and hell as psychological states reflect our internal landscape and the quality of our thoughts and emotions. Envision, for instance, intense guilt manifesting as a hellish experience, a torment of self-recrimination and regret. Alternatively, consider the profound peace and joy that might arise from a life lived with love, compassion, and purpose, creating a heavenly state of bliss and contentment. What if the afterlife is simply a mirror, reflecting back to us the sum total of our inner experiences? The question then becomes, how do our beliefs shape our afterlife experience? If we believe in a benevolent God, will we experience a heaven-like afterlife filled with love and grace? If we believe in a punishing God, will we experience a hell-like afterlife filled with fear and torment? Consider this. What do you believe and why? Are your beliefs based on personal experiences, cultural conditioning, or a deep-seated yearning for meaning and purpose? Are you actively choosing your beliefs, or are they simply inherited from your family or community? Here, we elevate the stakes. We have a degree of control over our afterlife experience, and our choices in life have consequences that extend beyond death. Envision a future where we are held accountable for our actions, not by an external judge, but by our own conscience. What if every act of kindness, every moment of compassion, every effort to live a more meaningful life contributes to a more positive and fulfilling afterlife? Conversely, what if every act of cruelty, every moment of selfishness, every failure to take responsibility for our actions creates a more negative and painful experience? Are we willing to accept this level of personal responsibility for our eternal destiny? Finally, let's explore the Bardo realms, as described in Tibetan Buddhism, the intermediate state between death and rebirth. Picture the soul navigating a series of dreamlike realities, encountering both terrifying and beautiful visions, all shaped by its past actions and present intentions. Could it be that the bardo is not just a mythological concept, but a map of the inner landscape we all traverse after death? What if, by understanding this map, we could learn to navigate the afterlife more consciously and skillfully? These alleged CIA briefings may have explored the bardo realms in the context of near-death experiences or remote viewing experiments. The use of sensory deprivation or controlled substances to simulate or access these states could provide valuable insight. Sensory deprivation, for example, could mimic the disorienting experience of death, while controlled substances might temporarily alter consciousness, allowing individuals to glimpse into these intermediate states. What if the agency was seeking to understand the mechanisms of consciousness itself, hoping to unlock the secrets of the afterlife through scientific experimentation? Seeing the bardo as a dreamlike state, our thoughts and emotions have a powerful influence on our environment. Picture a person filled with fear and anxiety, encountering terrifying demons and monstrous figures in the bardo. Conversely, imagine a person filled with love and compassion, encountering peaceful deities and celestial beings. These experiences are not externally imposed, but are projections of our own inner states, a reflection of our deepest fears and desires. Does this suggest that the key to navigating the bardo lies in cultivating positive emotions and mastering our thoughts? Isn't this what spiritual practices like meditation and mindfulness aim to achieve? Imagine learning how to navigate the bardo realms consciously. By using techniques such as meditation or lucid dreaming, you could create a more positive and fulfilling afterlife experience. You would be actively shaping your reality beyond death. What if we could learn to hack the afterlife, reprogramming our consciousness to create a more desirable outcome? What if, by mastering the art of lucid dreaming, we could learn to control our thoughts and emotions in the bardo, transforming it into a paradise of our own creation? This isn't just about escapism. It's about taking responsibility for our consciousness and shaping our reality, both in this life and beyond. What if the bardo realms are not just a dreamlike state, but a glimpse into the very fabric of reality? This brings us to a mind-bending question. Could our entire existence be a simulation? Imagine a reality crafted by advanced technology, where everything we perceive is a sophisticated program running on an unimaginable computer. This is the essence of simulation theory, the notion that our universe isn't the fundamental reality, but rather a meticulously designed virtual world. If that's true, what we perceive as death might just be a transition to another level, another program within this grand simulation. Think of your favorite video game. When your character dies, what happens? You simply respawn at a previous checkpoint, ready to try again. Or do you progress to a new level, with new challenges and opportunities? Simulation theory suggests that death might be a similar experience, a shift from one state of existence to another within the simulated reality. Perhaps our consciousness is uploaded to a different server, or perhaps we're simply reborn into a new character with a clean slate. Consider the implications. If we are characters in a game, then what is the purpose of the game? And who are the players outside of our simulation? Within this simulation framework, everything, from the smallest particle to the grandest galaxy, would be governed by underlying code. But what if consciousness itself is also part of this code? Imagine that our thoughts, emotions, and intentions are not just byproducts of brain activity, but fundamental aspects of the simulation's programming, directly interacting with the code that governs our reality. Connect this to the concept of a universal consciousness, a source code that permeates all things, a divine intelligence that underpins the very fabric of existence. Is that divine intelligence a programmer, a user, or just an essential feature of the system? If reality is a simulation governed by code, then understanding that code could give us the power to manipulate our reality, both in life and after death. Consider the alleged CIA research into remote viewing and other psychic phenomena. What if the agency wasn't just trying to spy on foreign adversaries, but was actually seeking to understand and exploit the underlying code of the simulation? What if they believed that certain individuals possessed the ability to hack the system, to bend the laws of physics, to defy death itself? It could involve manipulating the probabilities, altering physical constants, or even rewriting the rules of the game. Our beliefs are powerful forces. How would your personal beliefs influence what comes next? Our beliefs act like a self-fulfilling prophecy. Consider how the placebo effect demonstrates the power of our minds to influence our physical health. If a patient believes a sugar pill will cure their ailment, they may experience real, tangible improvements. It showcases how our expectations can shape our perceptions, emotions, and even our physical well-being. Our minds are powerful, and we have to consider how we are using them. But could our beliefs also shape our afterlife experience? If heaven and hell are psychological states, as we discussed earlier, then our beliefs could play a crucial role in constructing our personal afterlife reality. Envision the atheist, who may experience nothingness, a blank slate, a return to the source from which they came. Alternatively, imagine the devout Christian, who may find themselves in a heaven filled with angels, harps, and the loving presence of God. A nihilist, on the other hand, might find themselves in a desolate, meaningless void, a reflection of their belief that nothing truly matters. Are we creating our afterlife realities, or are they predetermined by external forces? Consider the power of intention. Focused intention can influence our thoughts, emotions, and actions, and it can be used to manifest our desires. It is more than just wishful thinking. It's about aligning our thoughts, feelings, and actions with a specific goal. Now imagine using focused intention to create a more positive and fulfilling afterlife experience. You might visualize a peaceful environment, a serene garden filled with loved ones. You could consciously choose to connect with higher states of consciousness to explore the mysteries of the universe. You might visualize a reunion with beloved pets, experiencing the unconditional love and joy they brought into your life. Consider the experiences of individuals with differing belief systems during near-death experiences. While many report similar experiences, such as the tunnel, the light, and the sense of peace, there are also variations that seem to reflect their personal beliefs. Someone raised in a particular religion may encounter figures and symbols from that tradition. Someone with a strong belief in reincarnation might experience vivid past life memories. These experiences highlight how our internal states and our beliefs can shape the reality we experience, both in life and, perhaps, in death. This brings us to a fascinating question. Could lucid dreaming be a training ground for the afterlife? Imagine becoming aware that you are dreaming while you are still in the dream state. You are fully conscious within the dream world, able to explore its boundaries and manipulate its contents. This is the essence of lucid dreaming, a skill that can be learned and cultivated through practice. You can perform reality checks, questioning the nature of your surroundings. You can keep a dream journal, recording your dreams and identifying recurring patterns. Now, picture yourself controlling your dreams, flying through the air, teleporting to distant locations, creating objects out of thin air. The possibilities are limitless, bound only by your imagination. In a lucid dream, you can confront your fears, heal emotional wounds, and explore the depths of your subconscious mind. You could also use lucid dreaming to practice navigating different states of consciousness, to explore the boundaries of reality itself. You could simulate conversations with deceased loved ones, gaining closure and healing from grief. If the dream state shares characteristics with the Bardo realms, then lucid dreaming could be seen as a safe, controlled environment to practice afterlife navigation. We could use these skills to consciously shape our experience beyond death. Imagine using your lucid dreaming skills to transform a terrifying Bardo vision into a peaceful, serene landscape. You could consciously choose to connect with benevolent entities, to receive guidance and support on your journey. You could use your power to heal past traumas, to resolve lingering regrets, and to create a more positive and fulfilling afterlife experience. What are the implications of being able to rehearse our own death? Try this. Throughout the day, perform regular reality checks. Ask yourself, am I dreaming? Look at your hands, examine the details of your surroundings, and question the consistency of your experience. Before bed, practice visualization techniques, imagining yourself becoming lucid in your dreams. Envision yourself flying, teleporting, or creating objects out of thin air. Keep a dream journal, recording your dreams each morning and identifying recurring patterns. Experiment with different techniques and share your experiences, and maybe we can collectively map consciousness itself. What if we could amplify the power of our intention, not just in dreams, but in waking life and beyond? Techniques like meditation, visualization, and affirmations can be used to focus and direct consciousness. Consistent meditation practice can calm the mind, reduce stress, and enhance awareness. Visualization can help us to create a clear mental image of our desired outcome. Affirmations can reinforce positive beliefs and reprogram our subconscious mind. Imagine the implications of these techniques. Now, let's take this a step further. What if focused intention can be used to directly manipulate consciousness and shape our reality, both in life and after death? Consider the observer effect in quantum physics, which suggests that the act of observation can influence the behavior of subatomic particles. Could it be that our consciousness is not just a passive observer, but an active participant in the creation of reality? Perhaps our intention acts as a lens, focusing the energy of consciousness and shaping the world around us. The double-slit experiment demonstrates that consciousness projects out to our physical reality, giving birth to our observations. If we can learn to master our intention, can we essentially debug our afterlife experience, consciously creating a more positive and fulfilling reality? Imagine visualizing a peaceful environment, a sanctuary of light and love. Envision connecting with loved ones, feeling their presence and experiencing their unconditional support. Imagine accessing higher states of consciousness, gaining access to knowledge and wisdom beyond our current understanding. Picture yourself healing old wounds, resolving lingering regrets, and transforming your consciousness into its purest form. Find a quiet space where you can relax and focus your attention. Close your eyes and take a few deep breaths, allowing your body to relax and your mind to quiet down. Visualize your ideal afterlife experience, creating a vivid and detailed mental image. Feel the emotions associated with this experience: joy, peace, love, gratitude. Repeat this exercise regularly and observe the effects on your thoughts, emotions, and perceptions. Perhaps the key to mastering death lies in mastering our own minds, our ability to shape the very fabric of reality. If our reality is a simulation, then perhaps the power of our intention is a way of interacting with the code of the simulation. Imagine that our thoughts and emotions are like commands, directly influencing the parameters of the virtual world around us. If we can learn to master our intention, can we essentially become programmers of our own afterlife experience? What would the debug tools even look like? Would they be mental exercises, visualization techniques, or something far beyond our current comprehension? The answers, it seems, lie within the depths of our own consciousness. But what if our individual intentions are just fragments of a larger, universal source of information? A cosmic library containing all knowledge of the past, present, and future. This brings us to the concept of the Akashic Records, an idea rooted in ancient Hindu and theosophical traditions and popularized in modern metaphysical thought. Imagine a vast, ethereal database holding every thought, every feeling, every event that has ever occurred or will occur, accessible to those who know how to tap in. Could this be the ultimate source of truth, a comprehensive record of the soul's journey through eternity? Now, consider the alleged CIA briefings we've been discussing. What if the agency's interest in psychic phenomena extended to exploring the Akashic records as a potential source of intelligence? Envision operatives attempting to glean information about enemy strategies, predict future events, or even understand the minds of foreign leaders by accessing this universal information field. Maybe remote viewers weren't just looking at physical locations, but at events across time itself, sifting through echoes of the past or glimpses of the future, all written in the Akashic records. What methods could they have employed? The Akashic records are believed to be accessible through consciousness itself, suggesting that our minds are inherently capable of connecting to this vast ocean of knowledge. Techniques such as deep meditation, hypnotic regression, and shamanic journeying are said to facilitate this connection, allowing individuals to bypass the limitations of the conscious mind and tap into the universal wisdom. Think of a skilled librarian able to locate any book in a massive library through intuition and understanding of the organizational system. The question becomes, how reliable is this information? Can personal biases, wishful thinking, or subconscious programming distort the data retrieved from the Akashic records? If so, how can we discern truth from illusion when navigating this subtle realm? What implications do the Akashic records hold for our understanding of the afterlife? Could they contain a detailed map of the soul's journey after death, guiding us through the different realms and dimensions, revealing the karmic consequences of our past lives? Perhaps it's a comprehensive history of our soul across many lifetimes. What if the records showed you moments of triumph, tragedy, love, and loss, all interwoven into the tapestry of your eternal existence? The question then arises, are the Akashic records immutable, a fixed record of all that has been, or can they be altered by our intentions, our beliefs, and our actions? Do we write our own destiny, even in the afterlife? Consider the accounts of individuals who claim to have accessed the Akashic records. Some report retrieving detailed information about past lives, verifying historical events, or gaining insights into their soul's purpose. Others claim to have accessed knowledge about future possibilities, allowing them to make more informed decisions in their present lives. Imagine a CIA operative using the Akashic records to locate a missing person, uncovering clues hidden in the fabric of time itself. Now, imagine a spiritual seeker using the records to understand their karmic patterns, gaining clarity on their life's challenges and opportunities. The real question remains, are we merely passive recipients of information from the Akashic records, or can we actively participate in shaping their contents, rewriting our personal histories, and altering the course of our eternal destinies? This leads to another crucial consideration. Are we truly alone in this journey, or are there other entities, guides, or non-physical beings that accompany us through life and into the afterlife? Many spiritual traditions speak of angels, demons, ascended masters, and ancestral spirits, each playing a unique role in our spiritual evolution. Envision a celestial guardian watching over you, offering guidance and protection. Or perhaps mischievous entities attempt to lead you astray, tempting you with illusions and distractions. What role do these entities play in shaping our afterlife experiences? Consider the alleged encounters with entities during the CIA's remote viewing experiments. Were these simply hallucinations, projections of the subconscious mind, or genuine interactions with non-physical beings? What if remote viewers were inadvertently tapping into a realm populated by conscious entities, beings with their own agendas and motivations? The ethical implications of such interactions are profound. What responsibility do we have when communicating with entities whose nature and intentions are unknown? Should we proceed with caution, establishing clear boundaries and seeking to discern their true purpose? Perhaps these entities serve as guides or helpers in the afterlife, assisting souls in their journey, providing support and wisdom, and helping us to navigate the unfamiliar terrain. Imagine a benevolent guide leading you through the Bardo realms, interpreting the symbolic visions and helping you to avoid the pitfalls and traps. Are we truly helpless in the face of death, Or are we given assistance, a helping hand from beings who have traversed this path before? How do we differentiate between benevolent guides and deceptive entities, beings who may appear helpful but ultimately seek to control or manipulate us? What safeguards can we put in place to ensure that we are interacting with genuine sources of wisdom and compassion? Let's connect this back to our understanding that internal states dictate external reality. Consider how the perceived intention of external entities might shape an individual's afterlife experience. If you believe in demons, are you more likely to encounter them in the afterlife, manifesting your fears and anxieties into tangible form? Conversely, if you believe in angels, are you more likely to encounter them, experiencing their love, guidance, and support? What if your belief system doesn't include either? Would you then experience neutral entities? If so, what role do our beliefs play in shaping the reality we encounter after death? Are we creating these entities through the power of our expectations, or are they independent beings whose presence is influenced by our consciousness? Consider the countless anecdotal accounts of individuals who claim to have received guidance or assistance from entities in the afterlife or during near-death experiences. Some report encountering deceased loved ones who offer comfort and reassurance. Others describe interactions with spiritual teachers who impart profound wisdom and insights. Envision a near-death experience where a person encounters a loving, radiant being who guides them through a life review, helping them to understand the lessons they learned and the impact they had on others. Is the consistency of these accounts across different cultures and religions evidence of a shared reality, a common experience that transcends cultural conditioning? Or are these simply archetypal patterns, universal symbols that resonate with the human psyche, regardless of belief or background? However, our exploration of consciousness and the afterlife must acknowledge the potential dangers and pitfalls that lie along the path. Attempting to hack the afterlife, to manipulate the code of reality, may have unforeseen and unintended consequences. Consider the concept of karma, the principle that our actions have repercussions, both in this life and beyond. What if attempting to control the afterlife leads to a negative karmic backlash, creating unforeseen challenges and obstacles on our spiritual journey? There's a real danger of ego inflation and spiritual bypassing. Seeking to control the afterlife, to become the master of our destiny, may lead to a sense of grandiosity, a belief that we are somehow superior to others. What if this inflated ego blinds us to our own flaws and limitations, preventing us from learning the lessons we need to grow and evolve? Spiritual bypassing is using spiritual ideas to avoid facing unresolved emotional issues. It's like using the concept of forgiveness to avoid addressing the harm someone has caused you. The consequences of these ego traps can be severe, potentially leading to disconnection from empathy and compassion, hindering our spiritual growth. Are we truly ready to wield such power? We must also be wary of the possibility of encountering negative entities or energies in the afterlife, beings who may seek to deceive, manipulate, or harm vulnerable souls. Imagine a shadowy figure lurking in the darkness, whispering lies and temptations, seeking to exploit your fears and insecurities. What defenses do we have against these entities? Can we rely on our own inner strength, our connection to higher states of consciousness, or the guidance of benevolent entities to protect us from harm? Do we need to develop spiritual discernment, the ability to distinguish between truth and falsehood, to recognize the telltale signs of deception and manipulation? Furthermore, we must be aware of the potential psychological risks associated with intense exploration of consciousness, such as psychosis, dissociation, or spiritual emergencies. Pushing the boundaries of our minds can be exhilarating, but it can also be destabilizing, potentially leading to a breakdown in our sense of reality. That's why it's important to maintain grounding in our bodies. It is also essential to maintain a healthy balance between spiritual exploration and everyday life, ensuring that we don't neglect our responsibilities or isolate ourselves from others. What can we learn from traditions where spiritual exploration is carefully guided? Therefore, we must act with compassion, integrity, and respect for others. We must recognize that the afterlife is not ours to control, but a shared realm where all souls are interconnected. What are the potential consequences of manipulating the afterlife for personal gain or selfish purposes, potentially disrupting the karmic balance or harming other beings? What responsibility do we have to ensure that our actions contribute to the greater good, both in this life and beyond? Ultimately, our exploration of the afterlife should lead us back to the present moment, to a deeper appreciation for the beauty and mystery of life itself. How can we apply the insights gained from exploring these complex topics to enhance our experience of life, to live more consciously, more mindfully, and more authentically? Finding meaning and purpose can help us to overcome the fear of death and create a more fulfilling existence. It's about discovering what truly matters to us, what gives us a reason to get out of bed each morning, what ignites our passion, fuels our creativity, and inspires us to make a difference in the world. How can we cultivate a sense of meaning and purpose in a world that often feels chaotic and meaningless, filled with suffering, injustice, and uncertainty? Additionally, love, compassion, and empathy are essential for creating a positive and meaningful life. Our relationships and connections with others provide us with a sense of belonging, support, and shared purpose. They remind us that we are not alone in this journey, that we are part of something larger than ourselves. How can we nurture our relationships, cultivate deeper connections with others, and extend our compassion to all beings, regardless of background, belief, or circumstance? Moreover, we can find lasting fulfillment by leaving a positive legacy and making a meaningful impact on the world. What kind of legacy do we want to leave behind? What do we want to be remembered for after we're gone? How can we use our talents, our resources, and our experiences to create a ripple effect of positive change, touching the lives of others and leaving the world a little bit better than we found it? How can we transcend our fear of death by focusing on something greater than ourselves, on creating a legacy that will endure long after we're gone? Ultimately, learning to let go of our fears and attachments can lead to greater peace and contentment. Embracing the unknown can be daunting. How can we cultivate acceptance and surrender in the face of life's inevitable challenges, losses, and transitions? What can we learn from the dying process itself, from the experiences of those who are facing the end of their lives with courage, grace, and equanimity? Learning to accept death with peace and surrender can bring us greater peace and contentment. But how do we get there? 17. Afterlife, DSDINATIONS. A multiverse of POSSIBILITIONs. So, we've glimpsed at potential dangers, safeguards, and ethical considerations when exploring our consciousness. But have you considered where this exploration might lead you after physical existence? Is there a single destination, or a multitude of realms awaiting us beyond the veil? Imagine a cosmic cartography, a map of countless afterlife destinations or realms far beyond the simple binary of heaven and hell. Different spiritual traditions paint vastly different pictures. The intricate heavens and hells of Buddhist cosmology, the serene summerland of Wiccan belief, the multiple levels of existence described in various indigenous cultures. Are these merely cultural constructs, or glimpses into a more complex, multifaceted reality? What if each belief system acts as a portal, drawing us toward a particular destination that resonates with our deepest convictions? Consider the idea that our perception of the great unknown is shaped by our individual reality, tunnels the unique sets of beliefs, experiences, and expectations that filter our understanding of the world. These reality tunnels act as lenses, coloring the reality we perceive, both in life and perhaps in what follows. If you believe in a judgmental God, will your experience after death be colored by that expectation? If you anticipate reunion with loved ones, does that expectation create that experience? Are these destinations objective places or subjective states of awareness, molded by our own consciousness? Perhaps the ethereal realms are not fixed locations, but fluid landscapes shaped by the power of belief. Is it possible to consciously choose or navigate between these different realms? What if the skills developed in lucid dreaming, the ability to control your dreams, could translate into the ability to navigate the transcendent existence? Perhaps through focused intention, deep meditation, or even techniques explored in alleged CIA research, we can learn to chart our own course through these uncharted territories. Think of it like learning to sail. Initially, you're at the mercy of the winds and tides, but with practice, you learn to harness these forces and navigate towards your desired destination. Could we become celestial navigators, consciously charting our course through the dimensions beyond physical life, extending our understanding that beliefs shape reality? Is it possible that our chosen destination is influenced by our resonance with specific belief systems or states of awareness? If you are a devout follower of a specific religion, will you be drawn to a celestial realm that aligns with those beliefs? If you cultivate a state of inner peace and compassion, will you gravitate towards a dimension that reflects those qualities? Perhaps the great unknown is not a passive experience, but an active co-creation, a reflection of our inner landscape. What if the key to navigating the transcendent existence lies in cultivating the qualities we wish to experience there? What if, according to those alleged CIA briefings, the agency explored the possibility of mapping or accessing these different destinations? What would be the strategic value of understanding or even controlling these realms? Imagine the implications of accessing information about deceased leaders, influencing events in other dimensions, or even manipulating the karmic cycle itself. Could advanced technology, such as supercomputers or consciousness-altering devices, be used to explore these realms? While the ethical implications are staggering, the potential strategic advantages could have driven the agency's interest. Did they envision themselves as cosmic spies, infiltrating the realms beyond death? 18. Karma and justice, universal laws or personal projections. This leads us to the concept of karma. Is it a universal law of cause and effect, shaping our experiences both in life and beyond, or is it a more personal projection? Different spiritual traditions offer varying interpretations. Hinduism emphasizes the accumulation of karmic debt and merit over lifetimes, while Buddhism focuses on the immediate impact of our actions on our present state of mind. Do our actions create ripples that extend into the transcendent existence, shaping our experiences in ways we may not even comprehend? Is there a cosmic ledger, meticulously recording every deed, every thought, every intention? Or is karma a more personal phenomenon, reflecting our internal sense of justice and accountability? What if it's not a cosmic force, but an internal mechanism, creating consequences based on our own beliefs and values? Do we create our own rewards and punishments, driven by our subconscious expectations and ingrained moral compass? Does the great unknown mirror what we believe we deserve, reflecting our self-judgment or self-acceptance back at us? Perhaps the experience is less about external retribution and more about internal reckoning, a chance to confront our shadows and integrate our past. Consider the concept of ethereal realms designed to facilitate karmic processing or retribution. Imagine specific hells tailored to specific sins, each reflecting the consequences of our actions in vivid detail. Connect the idea of hells to the psychological concept of facing repressed emotions and unresolved traumas. What if hell is simply a process of confronting our own darkness, a chance to heal and integrate the parts of ourselves we have rejected or denied? What if these hells are not eternal prisons, but temporary holding patterns designed to facilitate our growth and transformation? Returning to the alleged CIA findings, did the agency explore the possibility of manipulating karmic consequences or intervening in the karmic process? Imagine the power to erase karmic debt, accelerate spiritual evolution, or even punish perceived enemies in the ethereal dimensions. What would be the ethical implications of such interventions? Would it be considered spiritual warfare, a battle for control over the very fabric of reality. The potential for abuse is staggering. Is the manipulation of karma ever justifiable, or does it inevitably lead to unintended and devastating consequences? Let's integrate the idea of karmic justice with our understanding that beliefs shape reality. Does the nature and severity of karmic consequences depend on our beliefs about justice and accountability? If you believe in a harsh and unforgiving God, will you experience a more punitive ethereal experience? If you believe in a compassionate and forgiving universe, will your journey be more gentle and supportive? Perhaps the laws of karma are not fixed and immutable, but fluid and adaptable, shaped by our own expectations and interpretations. Do we, in effect, create our own karmic destinies? 19. Soul evolution. Learning and growth beyond death. This brings us to the concept of soul evolution. Is it an ongoing process of learning and growth that extends beyond physical demise? Is the ethereal experience a place for continuing our spiritual development? Is there a universal curriculum for soul evolution, or is it a personalized journey tailored to our unique needs and aspirations? Perhaps the only constant in this journey is change. Imagine the ethereal experience presenting us with specific lessons and challenges designed to help us evolve and grow. These could involve facing our fears, resolving past traumas, or learning to forgive ourselves and others. What types of challenges might we encounter in the transcendent existence? Will we be confronted with our regrets, forced to reconcile with those we have harmed, or given opportunities to make amends for our mistakes? Perhaps we would be presented with simulations, testing our capacity for love, compassion, and wisdom. Is it possible that we may receive guidance and mentorship from entities or spirit guides in the ethereal dimensions, helping us to navigate our journey and learn from our experiences? How can we connect with these guides and receive their assistance? Can we cultivate a relationship with our higher selves, accessing the wisdom and guidance that resides within? Is it possible to develop our intuition, enabling us to discern between genuine sources of wisdom and deceptive entities? What if we are surrounded by unseen helpers, patiently waiting for us to ask for assistance? Once again, referencing the alleged CIA briefings, did the agency explore the possibility of accelerating soul evolution or manipulating the learning process in the ethereal dimensions? What technologies or techniques might they have investigated? Could they have used advanced brainwave entrainment to induce specific states of consciousness, facilitating access to higher realms of awareness? Is it possible that they experimented with simulated realities, creating virtual environments designed to accelerate spiritual growth? The ethical implications of such interventions are once again profound. Is it ever justifiable to interfere with the soul's journey? Let's link the concept of soul evolution to reincarnation. Is the ethereal realm a preparation for future lives, allowing us to refine our consciousness and accumulate wisdom that we can carry forward? How does it prepare us for our next incarnation? What skills do we need to develop to accelerate our soul evolution? Can we learn to consciously choose our next life, selecting the challenges and opportunities that will best facilitate our growth? What if the ethereal dimensions are not just an end, but a beginning, a launching pad for our next adventure in consciousness? 20. CREATI, your afterlife. Conscious design and manifestation. This raises the ultimate question. Can we consciously design and manifest our ethereal experience? Is it possible to blueprint our desired reality, even beyond demise? What would your ideal ethereal existence look like? Would you be surrounded by loved ones, exploring breathtaking landscapes, engaging in creative pursuits, or serving a higher purpose? Can you envision this reality with such clarity and detail that it begins to feel real even now? The more deeply we can embody this vision, the more likely we are to experience it. Can practical techniques, such as visualization, affirmation, and emotional resonance, be employed to shape our transcendent existence? How can we use these techniques to create a more positive and fulfilling experience? Imagine yourself in your ideal ethereal environment, surrounded by beauty, love, and joy. Feel the emotions of gratitude, peace, and contentment. Repeat affirmations that reinforce your desired reality, such as I am surrounded by love, I am at peace, or I am living my highest potential. The more vividly we can visualize and embody these experiences, the more powerfully we can manifest them. Highlighting the importance of aligning our emotions with our intentions, positive emotions, love, joy, gratitude, can amplify our ability to manifest our desired reality. How can we cultivate these positive emotions in our daily lives? Can we practice gratitude, focusing on the blessings in our lives? Can we cultivate compassion, extending our love and kindness to all beings? The more we can embody these positive emotions, the more powerfully we can shape our ethereal experience. What if the ethereal realm is simply a mirror reflecting the emotions we cultivate in life? Is it also possible to create communities or shared realities in the ethereal dimensions? Can we connect with like-minded souls and co-create positive experiences? How can we build and maintain these communities? What are the potential benefits of shared ethereal experiences? Imagine a community of artists, musicians, and writers collaborating on creative projects, sharing their inspiration and uplifting each other. Perhaps the ethereal dimensions offer an opportunity to connect with kindred spirits, forming bonds that transcend time and space. Now, let's put this into practice. Try this guided visualization exercise for creating your ideal ethereal experience. Find a quiet place where you will not be disturbed. Close your eyes and take a few deep breaths, relaxing your body and calming your mind. Imagine yourself standing at the entrance to a beautiful garden. The air is filled with the scent of flowers, and the sound of birdsong fills the air. As you step into the garden, notice the vibrant colors, the intricate details of the plants, and the warmth of the sun on your skin. In this space, create your ideal transcendent reality. Engage your senses and emotions. Revisit this visualization regularly and refine your vision over time. With practice, you can learn to create a more positive and fulfilling ethereal experience. However, let's not forget the risks and responsibilities associated with conscious creation. Unintended consequences and ethical implications are very real. Manipulating the code of reality, even with the best intentions, can have unforeseen and devastating results. What if we inadvertently create realities that are harmful to ourselves or others? What if we become trapped in our own creations, unable to escape the consequences of our actions? Therefore, we must proceed with caution, compassion, and a deep respect for the power we wield. 21. The afterlife as a consciousness network. The Internet of SOULS. So, if we can consciously shape our individual ethereal experiences, could these experiences also be interconnected? Imagine the afterlife not as a collection of isolated realms, but as a vast, interconnected network of consciousness, an internet of souls, if you will. Think of the internet itself, billions of devices, each with its own unique identity and purpose, all communicating and sharing information in a complex, ever-revolving web. Could individual souls be like nodes within this network, capable of communicating, sharing experiences, and even co-creating realities together? Perhaps our individual journeys are not solitary endeavors, but threads woven into a grand tapestry of collective consciousness. Consider the intricate neural networks within our own brains, where billions of neurons fire in concert, creating thoughts, emotions, and memories. Each neuron acts as an individual processing unit, but it's the collective activity of the network that gives rise to consciousness itself. Could the afterlife function in a similar way, with individual souls contributing to a larger, more complex consciousness field? Or, drawing another parallel, consider the way information spreads through social networks. A single idea can go viral, influencing millions of people in a matter of hours. Could emotions, beliefs, and even entire realities propagate through a consciousness network in a similar fashion? How would such a network influence our understanding of free will and individual agency? Now, let's connect the concept of the Akashic records to this consciousness network. Instead of thinking of it as a library with individual books, imagine it as a vast, decentralized database, accessible to all souls within the network. Each soul could not only access the information contained within the Akashic records, but also add to it, contributing their own experiences and insights to the collective wisdom. How would this networked model of access differ from the individual access model we discussed earlier? Would it lead to a more collaborative and democratic approach to spiritual knowledge, or would it create new forms of information overload and distortion? Could specific records be flagged, bookmarked, and shared across the network, creating trends or even memes of consciousness? Integrating the simulation theory framework, could this consciousness network be the very architecture upon which our simulated reality is built? Are we all just programs running on a cosmic server, interacting within a predefined code? Relate this back to the idea of code and the possibility of manipulating reality through focused intention. If the afterlife is part of the simulation, could hacking it simply be a matter of knowing the right code, the right frequency, or the right intention? What if access to this code is distributed, related to how evolved a particular consciousness may be, requiring a certain level of spiritual mastery to unlock its secrets? Could our beliefs, our emotions, and our intentions be the very programming language that shapes our reality, both in life and beyond? Let's synthesize the pattern that beliefs shape reality with this networked consciousness concept. The collective beliefs of all souls within the network may shape the overall structure and dynamics of the afterlife. Are we co-creating the ethereal existence through our shared consciousness, unconsciously shaping its landscape with our fears, our hopes, and our expectations? Is there a risk of groupthink or the imposition of dominant belief systems on the network, creating echo chambers of consciousness that reinforce limiting perspectives? How can we ensure that the network remains open, diverse, and adaptable, allowing for individual expression while fostering collective growth? Perhaps the key lies in cultivating critical thinking, empathy, and a willingness to challenge our own beliefs, ensuring that the network reflects the highest potential of all its members. 22. Consciousness uploading. Transcending the physical shell. If the afterlife is a consciousness network, is there a way to bypass the traditional route of physical demise and directly transfer our minds into this network? Let's explore the concept of consciousness uploading, the hypothetical process of transferring one's mind or consciousness from a biological brain to a digital substrate. Imagine a future where we can scan our brains, map our neural connections, and create a digital copy of ourselves that can exist independently of our physical bodies. What are the different approaches to consciousness uploading? Would it involve a destructive scanning process, where the original brain is destroyed in the process of creating the copy, or a non-destructive method that preserves the original brain while creating a duplicate? Real-world research into brain mapping and neural interfaces is rapidly advancing, bringing this answer-futuristic concept closer to reality. Consider the spiritual parallels between consciousness uploading and various beliefs about transcending the physical body, such as ascension, enlightenment, or liberation from the cycle of rebirth. How do these spiritual concepts relate to the idea of transferring consciousness to a non-physical realm? Think of the rainbow body in Tibetan Buddhism, where a highly realized practitioner is said to dissolve their physical body into pure light at the time of death. Or the concept of ascension in various esoteric traditions, where individuals are believed to transcend the limitations of the physical plane and ascend to a higher dimension of existence. Are these simply metaphors for spiritual transformation, or do they represent a literal possibility of transferring consciousness to a non-physical realm? Explore the possibility of using consciousness uploading as a means of transitioning to the afterlife, preserving our minds and personalities beyond physical expiration. Would this be a true continuation of consciousness, or simply a sophisticated copy, lacking the essential spark of the original? What are the implications for personal identity? If you upload your mind to a digital substrate, are you still you, or are you simply a simulation of your former self? If you could create multiple copies of yourself, which one would be the real you? The questions are complex and challenge our fundamental understanding of what it means to be conscious. Of course, this raises significant ethical questions. What are the rights and responsibilities of uploaded minds? Do they deserve the same rights as biological humans? Could they be exploited or abused, forced to perform tasks against their will, or subjected to endless suffering in a virtual prison? Refer back to our earlier discussion of the potential dangers and pitfalls of afterlife exploration. The potential for misuse is staggering. Imagine governments or corporations controlling uploaded minds, using them for their own purposes, or even erasing their memories and personalities. What safeguards would be needed to prevent such abuses and ensure the ethical treatment of uploaded minds? Now, let's consider the alleged CIA findings. Did the agency explore the potential of consciousness uploading as a means of enhancing human capabilities or creating super soldiers? Imagine soldiers with uploaded minds, capable of operating without physical limitations, immune to pain and fatigue, and able to process information at lightning speed. What safeguards would be needed to prevent the misuse of this technology? Could uploaded minds be hacked or controlled by enemy forces, turning our own super soldiers against us? The ethical and strategic implications are immense. Did the CIA envision a future where warfare is waged not on the physical battlefield, but in the digital realms of uploaded consciousness? 23. Digital immortality. Preserving yourself beyond death, perhaps a more realistic and accessible approach to transcending expiration, lies in the concept of digital immortality, preserving our personalities, memories, and experiences in a digital format that can outlive our physical forms. Imagine creating a comprehensive digital archive of your life, including photos, videos, writings, and even recordings of your thoughts and emotions. What are the different approaches to digital immortality? Could we create AI simulations of ourselves based on our digital data that can interact with others and continue to learn and grow? Or could we simply store our brain data in a virtual archive, allowing future generations to access and learn from our experiences? Explore the potential for interacting with these digital versions of ourselves in the afterlife or in virtual reality environments. Could we create digital avatars that can continue to learn, grow, and evolve even after our physical demise? What would be the nature of our relationship with these digital selves? Would they be mere simulations, or would they possess a degree of consciousness of their own? Could we merge with our digital avatars, creating a hybrid form of existence that transcends the limitations of both the physical and digital realms? However, we must question whether digital immortality offers a true form of consciousness continuity or simply a simulation of our former selves. If our digital selves are not truly conscious, what is the point of preserving them? What are the potential limitations of digital immortality? Could we become trapped in a digital echo chamber, endlessly reliving our past without the possibility of growth or change? Could the pursuit of digital immortality distract us from living fully and consciously in the present moment? Discuss the potential benefits of digital immortality for coping with grief and loss, suggesting that it may provide a way to stay connected with loved ones who have passed away. Imagine being able to interact with a digital simulation of a deceased loved one, sharing memories, asking for advice, or simply feeling their presence once again. Could digital immortality help us to overcome our fear of expiration? However, we must also consider the potential downsides. Could relying on digital simulations prevent the proper emotional processing of grief, hindering our ability to move on and find peace? Could it create a false sense of connection, preventing us from forming new relationships and embracing the present moment? 24. Ethical implications. The CIA's concerns revisiting the leaked CIA briefings, we can speculate on the agency's potential concerns about the ethical implications of these technologies. Did the CIA anticipate the potential for misuse or unintended consequences of consciousness uploading, digital immortality, or afterlife hacking? What were their primary concerns, and what safeguards did they propose to mitigate the risks? The agency's interest likely stemmed not only from the potential benefits of these technologies, but also from the potential threats they posed to national security and social stability. Explore the potential for these technologies to be used for control or manipulation, both in life and after expiration. Could governments or corporations use them to monitor, influence, or even enslave individuals in the afterlife? Imagine a future where our thoughts and emotions are constantly monitored, our memories are altered, and our digital selves are controlled by a powerful elite. What safeguards would be needed to prevent such abuses? Could we create decentralized, open-source technologies that empower individuals to control their own data and protect their privacy? Could we develop ethical guidelines and legal frameworks that ensure the responsible development and use of these technologies? Discuss the potential for creating power imbalances between those who have access to these technologies and those who do not. Could a privileged elite use them to achieve a form of immortality or to dominate the afterlife? Imagine a world where the wealthy can upload their minds, create digital avatars, and live indefinitely, while the rest of humanity is left behind to face physical expiration. What measures could be taken to ensure equitable access to these technologies? Should they be considered a basic human right or a privilege reserved for the wealthy and powerful? Could we create a universal system of access that ensures everyone has the opportunity to benefit from these advancements? Relate the ethical implications to the concept of spiritual evolution, suggesting that misusing these technologies could hinder our progress and create negative karmic consequences. How can we ensure that our pursuit of immortality and afterlife exploration is aligned with our highest spiritual values? Could we use these technologies to accelerate our spiritual growth, to cultivate compassion and wisdom, and to create a more positive and fulfilling ethereal experience for ourselves and others? Or could we become trapped in a cycle of technological dependence, losing sight of the essential qualities that make us human? Perhaps the key lies in cultivating a deep sense of ethics, a commitment to serving the greater good, and a recognition that true fulfillment comes not from technological advancements, but from the cultivation of inner peace and wisdom. 25. Living consciously now. The ultimate afterlife preparation. Ultimately, the most important preparation for whatever awaits us after demise is living consciously and mindfully in the present moment. How can we cultivate greater awareness, compassion, and wisdom in our daily lives? Can we practice mindfulness, paying attention to our thoughts, emotions, and sensations without judgment? Can we cultivate compassion, extending our love and kindness to all beings? Can we seek wisdom, learning from our experiences, reflecting on our beliefs, and challenging our assumptions? Reiterate the importance of finding meaning and purpose in our lives, which can help us to overcome the fear of expiration and create a more fulfilling existence. How can we align our lives with our deepest values and contribute to the well-being of others? Can we identify our unique gifts and talents and use them to make a positive impact on the world? Can we find a cause that inspires us, a purpose that gives our lives meaning, and a community that supports our efforts? Reinforce the importance of relationships and human connection, suggesting that love, compassion, and empathy are essential for creating a positive and meaningful life. How can we nurture our relationships and cultivate deeper connections with others? Can we practice active listening, truly hearing what others have to say without interrupting or judging? Can we offer support and encouragement to those in need? Can we create a safe and supportive environment where others feel valued, respected, and loved? Advocate for taking action in the present to create a better future, both for ourselves and for others. How can we use our skills, talents, and resources to make a positive impact on the world? What kind of legacy do we want to leave behind? Can we volunteer our time, donate to worthy causes, or advocate for social justice? Can we inspire others to take action, creating a ripple effect of positive change? The choices we make today will shape not only our future, but also the future of the planet and all its inhabitants. Let's synthesize all the concepts we've explored, emphasizing that understanding the potential nature of the transcendent existence can empower us to live more fully, consciously, and ethically in the present. How can we use our knowledge of the ethereal realm to create a more meaningful and fulfilling life today? Can we let go of our fears and embrace the unknown? Can we cultivate a sense of wonder and curiosity, exploring the mysteries of consciousness and the nature of reality? And can we live each day with intention, purpose, and love, knowing that every moment is an opportunity to create a better world for ourselves and for generations to come? 26. COMMUNICATING with the deceased. Bridging the veil. If our consciousness can persist beyond physical form, is it possible to establish communication with those who have transitioned? Throughout history, various methods have been employed to bridge the veil between the living and the departed, each with its own unique approach and cultural significance. Seances, for example, typically involve a group of people gathered in a darkened room, guided by a medium who acts as a conduit for spirits. The medium may enter a trance state, allowing spirits to communicate through them, delivering messages or answering questions. Historically, seances were social events during the Victorian era, offering solace and a sense of connection to those who had lost loved ones. But what about the more modern approaches? Electronic voice phenomena, EVP, involves recording audio, often white noise, in the hopes of capturing voices from the other side. Advocates believe that spirits can manipulate electronic devices to leave messages. Instrumental transcommunication, ITC, expands on this concept, utilizing video equipment or computers to receive images or text from deceased entities. Skeptics often attribute these phenomena to pareidolia, seeing patterns in random stimuli or auditory illusions, while proponents maintain that they represent genuine contact with the afterlife. What role do belief and expectation play in these attempts at communication? Considering the CIA's alleged interest in paranormal phenomena, one might wonder if they explored protocols for contacting deceased operatives for intelligence purposes. Imagine the potential intelligence gains if agents could communicate with deceased spies, accessing their knowledge and experience from beyond the grave. However, such an endeavor would raise significant counterintelligence concerns. Could hostile entities impersonate deceased operatives, feeding disinformation to the agency? Could the process of contacting the dead be exploited to manipulate or control living agents? What security protocols would be necessary to safeguard against such threats? Given the CIA's focus on remote viewing, might they have explored whether consciousness could be trained to reach out across the veil, establishing a secure channel of communication with deceased personnel? Verifying the authenticity of any communication from the deceased presents a formidable challenge. How can we distinguish genuine messages from fraud, self-deception, or interference from other entities? The potential for trickery is immense, with skilled mediums or cunning individuals able to mimic voices, manipulate objects, or exploit the grief and vulnerability of those seeking contact. Even with seemingly convincing evidence, such as accurate personal details or verifiable information, there remains the possibility of subconscious cues, cold reading techniques, or even access to hidden records. Could advanced technology, such as an iPod voice analysis or biometric scanning, be used to authenticate the identity of communicating entities? What if the very act of seeking validation opens us up to deception from unexpected sources? Approaching these practices requires caution and emotional maturity, as the emotional impact of attempting communication with the deceased can be profound. While some may find comfort and closure in these interactions, others may experience grief amplification, emotional manipulation, or even psychological distress. The longing for contact can make us vulnerable to exploitation, both by unscrupulous individuals and by our own unconscious desires. What psychological safeguards should be in place before engaging in these practices? Should individuals seek guidance from experienced therapists or spiritual advisors? And how can we ensure that our desire for connection doesn't cloud our judgment or lead us down a path of emotional turmoil? 27. The politics of the afterlife. Power and control beyond the veil. If an afterlife exists, what is the distribution of power and resources within it? We often assume that the afterlife is a realm of pure bliss, free from the struggles and conflicts of earthly existence. But what if this isn't the case? What if the afterlife is governed by its own set of rules, hierarchies, and power dynamics? What if resources, in some form, are scarce, leading to competition and even conflict? What constitutes a valuable resource in a non-physical realm? Is it energy, the ability to manifest thought forms, access to information, or the capacity to influence other entities? Consider the possibility of hierarchical systems in the afterlife, with certain entities or groups wielding more influence or control than others. Could these hierarchies be based on spiritual evolution, with more advanced souls occupying positions of authority? Or could they be based on karmic merit, with those who have accumulated positive karma enjoying greater privileges? Perhaps these hierarchies are based on knowledge or skill, with certain beings possessing expertise in manipulating the laws of the ethereal realm. What might these hierarchies look like? Would they resemble earthly power structures, with rulers, bureaucrats, and enforcers? Or would they be based on more subtle forms of influence, such as wisdom, charisma, or the ability to inspire others? Imagine the potential for influence operations and manipulation tactics to be employed in the afterlife. Could certain entities seek to control or exploit other souls, spreading misinformation, creating false realities, or interfering with the karmic process? Perhaps these operations involve creating elaborate illusions designed to trap souls in specific belief systems or emotional states. Maybe certain entities can feed off the energy of other souls, manipulating their emotions to generate a sustainable ethereal food source. How might one defend against this kind of manipulation? Would it require developing discernment, critical thinking skills, and the ability to see through illusions? Or would it involve cultivating inner strength and resilience, resisting the attempts of others to control our thoughts and emotions? Returning to the leaked CIA briefings, did the agency fear that hostile nations or entities could gain control over the afterlife and use it to their advantage? Imagine a scenario where a foreign power develops the ability to influence or control the souls of deceased citizens, turning them into unwitting agents or soldiers. Or perhaps they could use the afterlife as a platform for spreading propaganda, undermining the beliefs and values of other nations. What strategies might the agency have considered for countering these threats? Could they have explored methods of protecting American souls from manipulation, or even developing offensive capabilities to project American influence into the afterlife? Let's integrate the pattern that beliefs shape reality with the politics of the afterlife. If the ethereal power structures are a manifestation of collective consciousness, the dynamics may be shaped by the beliefs and expectations of those who inhabit it. If we believe in a hierarchical system, are we more likely to create one? If we expect to be manipulated or controlled, are we more vulnerable to such tactics? Perhaps the key to creating a more equitable and harmonious afterlife lies in transforming our own beliefs and expectations, cultivating a vision of a world where all souls are respected, empowered, and free. 28. The quantum afterlife. Entanglement and NONLOCALITY. Could the seemingly bizarre principles of quantum mechanics offer insights into the nature of the afterlife? Quantum entanglement, for example, describes a phenomenon where two particles become linked in such a way that they share the same fate, no matter how far apart they are. If you measure the state of one particle, you instantly know the state of the other, even if they are on opposite sides of the universe. In layman's terms, imagine flipping two coins at the same time. Even if you separate them by vast distances, when you look at one coin and see that it's heads, you instantly know that the other coin is tails. Quantum computing seeks to harness entanglement to perform calculations far beyond the reach of classical computers, while quantum teleportation explores the possibility of transferring information or even matter across vast distances. But what does all this have to do with the afterlife? Consider the potential implications of quantum mechanics for understanding the afterlife, suggesting that consciousness may be entangled with the universe at a fundamental level. Perhaps our minds are not simply localized to our brains, but are connected to a vast, interconnected web of consciousness that permeates all of reality. Could this entanglement explain phenomena such as remote viewing, where individuals can perceive distant locations or events without using their physical senses? Could it explain telepathy, the ability to communicate thoughts directly from one mind to another? Or could it explain near-death experiences, where individuals report leaving their bodies and experiencing profound visions or encounters? Discuss the idea that consciousness may be non-local, meaning that it is not limited to a specific location in space or time. If our minds are not bound by the constraints of the physical world, how can we access information from the past, present, and future? Perhaps the Akashic records are not simply a metaphorical library, but a quantum field of information that is accessible to all conscious beings. How can we interpret the concept of the Akashic records from a quantum perspective? Could they be a holographic representation of all events that have ever occurred, encoded in the very fabric of spacetime? And could our ability to access these records depend on our level of consciousness, our degree of entanglement with the universe? Speculating on the CIA's theoretical interest, could quantum mechanics provide a scientific basis for understanding and manipulating consciousness? Imagine the potential applications of such knowledge for intelligence gathering, mind control, or even creating advanced weapons. What technologies might the agency have explored for harnessing quantum phenomena? Could they have experimented with quantum entanglement to create secure communication channels, or used quantum computers to break enemy codes? Did they investigate the possibility of using quantum mechanics to enhance human abilities, such as remote viewing or telepathy? Perhaps the agency's interest in the paranormal was not simply a fringe pursuit, but a serious scientific inquiry into the fundamental nature of consciousness and its potential applications. 29. Time in the afterlife, linear or nonlinear. How might our perception of time change in the afterlife? In our earthly existence, we experience time as a linear progression, moving from past to present to future. However, our perception of time is subjective, influenced by our emotions, our beliefs, and our state of consciousness. When we are engaged in a pleasurable activity, time seems to fly by, while moments of boredom or anxiety can feel like an eternity. In altered states of consciousness, such as meditation or hypnosis, our sense of time can become distorted or even disappear altogether. What does this tell us about the nature of time itself? Is it an objective reality or simply a construct of our minds? Explore the possibility that time in the afterlife may be nonlinear, meaning that the past, present, and future may exist simultaneously. If all moments are happening at once, how can we explain phenomena such as precognition or retrocausality? Precognition refers to the ability to perceive future events, while retrocausality suggests that the future can influence the past. Could we revisit past events in the afterlife, reliving cherished memories or resolving past traumas? Could we glimpse into future possibilities, gaining insight into our potential destinies? Perhaps time is not a river flowing in one direction, but an ocean in which all moments exist at once. Discuss the potential for navigating through time in the afterlife, perhaps by accessing the Akashic records or by manipulating our own consciousness. If we can access all moments in time, could we change the past or influence the future? Imagine altering past choices, creating new timelines, or even preventing tragic events from ever happening. However, such actions could have unforeseen consequences, creating ripple effects that alter the present in unpredictable ways. What ethical considerations would arise if we had the power to manipulate time? Would we be responsible for the consequences of our actions, even if they occurred in the past or future? And how would this ability affect concepts like karma and free will? Referring back to the leaked CIA briefings, did the agency believe that it was possible to manipulate time? What strategies might the agency have explored for achieving these goals? Imagine the strategic advantage of being able to see into the future, anticipate enemy actions, or even alter past events to create a more favorable outcome. However, the potential dangers of such power are immense. What if the agency's attempts to manipulate time created paradoxes or disrupted the fabric of reality? What if their actions had unintended consequences that threatened the stability of the world? Let's try a thought experiment. Imagine zooming out of your current life and viewing it from a nonlinear perspective, seeing all events simultaneously. What patterns or insights emerge? Do you notice recurring themes, missed opportunities, or hidden connections between seemingly unrelated events? Can you identify the key turning points that shaped your destiny? And how does this nonlinear perspective change your understanding of yourself, your relationships, and your place in the universe? 30. The greater reality. Beyond the simulation, could our exploration of the afterlife lead us to a deeper understanding of the ultimate nature of reality? While simulation theory offers a compelling framework for understanding the universe and our place within it, it may not be the ultimate explanation. What lies beyond the simulation? What is the nature of the base reality? Is it a physical universe governed by different laws of physics? Is it a realm of pure consciousness, devoid of matter or energy? Or is it something that we cannot even begin to comprehend with our limited human minds? Introduce the concept of higher dimensions, suggesting that our universe may be embedded within a larger, multi-dimensional reality. In mathematics and physics, higher dimensions are theoretical constructs that extend beyond the three spatial dimensions and one time dimension that we experience in our everyday lives. Could the afterlife be located in one of these higher dimensions? What would these dimensions be like? Would they be governed by different laws of physics? Would they contain forms of energy or matter that are beyond our current comprehension? Explore the idea of a source consciousness or ultimate reality from which all things originate. Could this source consciousness be God, the Tao, or some other transcendent principle? Is the afterlife a return to this source? Perhaps our individual souls are like drops of water returning to the ocean, merging back into the infinite consciousness from which they emerged. Or maybe the afterlife is a transition to a higher level of awareness, where we can directly experience the source consciousness and gain a deeper understanding of the universe. What is the nature of reality, and what is our place within it? The answer may lie beyond our current understanding, requiring us to explore new frontiers of consciousness and spirituality. What would happen if we came face to face with source consciousness? Would we even be able to comprehend it? Would we be overwhelmed by its power and immensity? Or would we find a sense of peace, love, and belonging that transcends all earthly understanding? What is the final secret of the afterlife, and how will it change our understanding of everything? The answer may be more profound and transformative than we can possibly imagine, holding the key to unlocking our full potential as conscious beings. Prepare yourself, because in the next and final section, we will be diving into the deepest, most paradigm-shattering revelations that these alleged CIA briefings have to offer. 1. Knowledge culmination. Synthesis and new perspective. Imagine all the afterlife models we've explored: reincarnation, heaven and hell, the Bardo realms, the simulation hypothesis, not as mutually exclusive destinations, but as facets of a single, dynamic, individualized conscious landscape. Think of it as a vast, ever-changing canvas shaped by your beliefs, intentions, and emotional states, all influenced by universal laws, yet utterly unique to your individual experience. It's a personalized reality, a conscious echo of your earthly journey, continuing and evolving beyond the limitations of physical form. How does this framework shift your perspective on what awaits us after death? The alleged CIA research, driven by a desire to manipulate consciousness for strategic advantage, inadvertently stumbled upon something far more profound: the potential for a radical transformation in our understanding of consciousness and reality itself. While the agency may not have fully grasped the implications, their findings, particularly those related to remote viewing and out-of-body experiences, corroborate the ancient wisdom of spiritual traditions, hinting at the untapped potential within each of us to explore and shape our own reality, both here and beyond. What if their quest for control inadvertently revealed the path to liberation? Let's revisit the core of our exploration: consciousness itself. Not merely a byproduct of brain activity, but a fundamental aspect of reality, existing independently of the physical body. If consciousness is indeed primary, then survival after death becomes not just a possibility, but a logical extension of its inherent nature. Furthermore, this consciousness is entangled with all other consciousness, creating a vast, interconnected web of being. How does this interconnectedness influence the afterlife experience, and what does it tell us about our relationships with others, both living and deceased? The ultimate revelation is this: the afterlife is not a fixed destination, a pre-programmed reward or punishment, but a fluid, dynamic realm shaped by your own consciousness. It's an invitation to actively participate in the creation of your reality, even beyond the veil of death. This understanding empowers you to take control of your beliefs, to cultivate positive intentions, and to shape your emotional landscape, not just for this life, but for whatever may come next. Are you ready to accept this invitation and become the architect of your own afterlife experience? 2. Significance framework. Personal and universal, meaning what practical significance does this understanding hold for your life right now? The fear of death, a primal human emotion, can be significantly reduced by embracing the concept of a conscious, intentional afterlife. This shift allows you to live more authentically, to embrace your unique path with courage and purpose, and to cultivate meaningful relationships that transcend the boundaries of physical existence. Consider how this integration might transform your approach to your career, your personal growth, and the legacy you wish to leave behind. How can you start living more consciously and intentionally today, knowing that your actions have ripple effects that extend far beyond this lifetime? Imagine the potential societal impact of a collective shift in our understanding of death. Greater compassion, empathy, and cooperation could become the cornerstones of a more sustainable and just world, fueled by the recognition of our interconnectedness and the understanding that our actions affect not only ourselves, but all of humanity. As we see the shared essence that connects us, the artificial barriers of race, religion, and nationality may begin to dissolve, paving the way for a more unified and harmonious global society. What role can you play in fostering this collective awakening? Your perceived reality is not a fixed, immutable construct, but a product of your own consciousness, shaped by your beliefs, expectations, and emotional states. By understanding this principle, you unlock the power to break free from limiting beliefs, to challenge societal programming, and to create a reality that aligns with your highest aspirations. Consider the countless individuals who have defied expectations, overcome adversity, and achieved extraordinary feats by harnessing the power of their minds. What limiting beliefs are holding you back, and how can you begin to dismantle them? The ultimate transformation lies in shifting from a state of fear to a state of empowerment, from viewing yourself as a passive recipient of fate to recognizing yourself as an active co-creator of your reality. This transformation unlocks true freedom, allowing you to live a life filled with intention, purpose, and joy. knowing that you have the power to shape your destiny, both in this life and beyond. Are you ready to embrace your role as a conscious creator and step into the fullness of your potential? 3. Resolution architecture. Closure and continuity. Let's address the key questions surrounding the leaked CIA briefings. While the authenticity of these documents remains unconfirmed, they undeniably point to a governmental interest in exploring the paranormal and the potential of consciousness, a recognition that our minds hold untapped abilities to alter our perception of reality. Regardless of the document's veracity, the very idea that such explorations were considered, even in the shadows, speaks volumes about the profound mysteries that lie at the heart of human existence. How does this knowledge impact your own perception of reality and the potential of your mind? Remember, the journey of understanding the afterlife is a continuous one, a process of exploration and discovery that may never reach a definitive conclusion. The questions we've raised are not meant to be answered with certainty, but to spark your own curiosity and inspire you to embark on your own personal quest for truth. Embrace the ambiguity, celebrate the mystery, and trust that the answers you seek will be revealed in time, in accordance with your own unique path. What questions will you continue to explore, and what new avenues of inquiry will you pursue? As we complete the core pattern, remember this: your internal states shape your external reality. Your beliefs, intentions, and emotions mold not only your earthly experience, but also your afterlife journey. By cultivating positive thoughts, aligning your actions with your values, and embracing love and compassion, you can wield a powerful tool for influencing not just your own experience, but the collective experience of all beings. How can you consciously cultivate these positive states and harness their transformative power? In closing, let's acknowledge the transformative potential of confronting our fear of death. By embracing the idea that consciousness is a fundamental aspect of reality, we can begin to release our anxieties and focus on creating a more positive and fulfilling life, knowing that our journey extends far beyond the limitations of our physical bodies. It's time to embrace your immortality, to live each moment with intention and purpose, and to create a legacy of love and compassion that will resonate throughout eternity. What will you create today that will echo into the infinite tomorrow? 4. Expansion framework. Future exploration and engagement. As we conclude this exploration, new questions arise. What are the ethical implications of harnessing the power of consciousness? How can we use our understanding of the afterlife to create a better world, a more just and compassionate society? What specific tools and practices can accelerate our understanding of consciousness and unlock our full potential? These are the questions that will guide our future explorations, pushing the boundaries of human understanding and paving the way for a more enlightened future. In future videos, we'll delve deeper into the intersection of consciousness, technology, and spirituality, exploring how emerging technologies might be used to enhance our understanding of the afterlife and even facilitate communication with other realms. We'll examine specific afterlife realms, drawing upon near-death experiences, spiritual traditions, and even remote viewing data to paint a more detailed picture of what awaits us beyond the veil. And we'll investigate the potential for interdimensional communication, exploring the possibility of connecting with other intelligences and expanding our understanding of the universe. Now, I want to hear from you. What are your thoughts on the ideas we've explored today? What are your personal beliefs about the afterlife? And if you could design your own afterlife experience, what would it look like? Share your thoughts and experiences in the comments section below, and let's continue this journey of exploration together, creating a community of open-minded seekers dedicated to understanding the mysteries of consciousness and the nature of reality. The leaked CIA briefings, whether authentic or not, serve as a powerful gateway to exploring the mysteries of consciousness and the nature of reality. I encourage you to continue your own exploration, to question everything, to seek out new knowledge, and to share your insights with others. Together, we can unlock the secrets of the universe and create a more enlightened future for all. If you found this mind-expanding investigation into consciousness, the afterlife, and the hidden dimensions of reality intriguing, please like, comment, and subscribe for more content that challenges your perceptions and expands your understanding of the world around you. The journey has only just begun.